Hi, everyone. I'm going to be talking about another common Christian inconsistency today. There are so many things that the majority of Christians believe and that pastors teach in church that directly contradict the scriptures. So I encourage you to pay attention to these verses I'm going to show you very carefully to see what the truth of God really is. Today, we're going to be talking about how God is completely sovereign over absolutely everything. Most Christians teach that our free will determines our eternal fate, but the scriptures teach that God is in control of everything. Romans 9:16 says, "So then it is not of him who wills, nor of him who runs, but of God who shows mercy." The whole chapter 9 of Romans, the whole point is that God is the one that is the potter. We are the clay. He is in control. Man certainly has a will, but it's not free. We are subject to God and his will in every way. So, why do some people not believe now in this life? If you can't understand God's word or do what he commands, why is that? Well, he explains that in John 12:39 to 40. He says, "Therefore they could not believe, because Isaiah said again, He has blinded their eyes and hardened their hearts, lest they should see with their eyes, lest they should understand with their hearts, and turn, so that I should heal them." So this is a quote from Isaiah 6:10, and it's saying so clearly that when people don't understand what God is teaching them, their eyes are blinded, their hearts are hard. Just like Pharaoh in the story of Israel coming out of captivity in Egypt. God hardened his heart working through Christ so that he could not let the people go. And we are the exact same way. We are just clay in the potter's hand. So does man have any control over his own life? Let's see what Proverbs says. Proverbs 20:24. A man's steps are from the Lord. How then can man understand his way? In Proverbs 16:1, the preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. In Proverbs 16:9, the mind of a man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. So our steps are directed. The very things in our hearts, what we believe, what we feel, what we think, all of those things are controlled by the Lord, even the answer of the tongue. God truly is working all things, as Paul explains in Ephesians 1:11. In him we have obtained an inheritance, having been predestined according to the purpose of him who works all things according to the counsel of his will. Predestined means to ordain beforehand. So God has, before everything has happened, already ordained, or as Psalms 139 says, he's written it in his book, all of our days, everything we're going to do. And he works it after the counsel of his will. God's not being driven around by our free will. He is doing exactly what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. Our natural response when we learn this is to say, well, then why does God find fault? Why does he cause us to go through judgments and chastening for the very things that he's causing? Well, Paul addresses this very question in Romans 9. Romans 9:19 through 21 says, "Who will say to me then, why does he still find fault? For who has resisted his will? But indeed, O man, who are you to reply against God? Will the thing formed say to him who formed it, why have you made me like this? Does not the potter have power over the clay, from the same lump to make one vessel for honor and another for dishonor?" So Paul gets this analogy of the potter and the clay from Jeremiah 18, where God tells Israel, you are like this clay in my hand, and I'm going to do with you whatever I please. And he actually says that he makes the vessel marred before he makes it again. So all of this evil being caused in our lives and in the world has a purpose, and it's explained here in Romans 8, verses 20 and 21. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who has subjected the same in hope, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. So God subjects us to vanity, to evil, so that he can deliver us all into his glorious liberty. And in the process, we will truly come to understand the treasures we've been given and how great he really is. In Romans 11:32, for God has concluded them all in unbelief, that he might have mercy upon all. So God is causing all the evil in the world, but it is working for good. To learn more, you can visit my website, tryingthespirits.com, and you can look for the study, Does Mankind Have Free Will? I hope and pray that God gives you the desire to study his word diligently to see if these things are so. Thank you for listening.